We're going to connect beliefs to student achievement. Why is all this important, Sheldon? Why does my belief, or why is it important that my beliefs as a teacher, as an educator, as a principal, as a counselor, social worker, why do my beliefs matter when it comes to student achievement? Let's talk about it. There's a research study done in 2021, multi-country, and the results said that only 48% of teachers believed all students can learn regardless of familiar background or educational experience. Only 48. That's so low. 40. So less than half of teachers believed all students can learn. Now, if you know me, you know I used to do special ed. I was director of special ed education at a school, and I would confirm this, especially from our 504 IEP students. I had plenty of teachers that would ask me questions. Do you think these students can do this? Do you think your child, the student, I can't tell you how many teachers that I've spoken to, do you think they're capable of making it to college? Can they be college graduates? So this number, 48%, I think that makes sense. And like I said, it's a multi-country study. All right, let's go a little further. Talking about the work of Dr. Katie Martin. It coincides with this idea of 48% of those that believed in their students. Because it affects the way we teach. If we, and I've talked about this before, we tend to teach the way that we learn, or the way we were taught. So if I'm a teacher and I don't believe that my students, or I have a low expectation for my students, so my actions towards those students aren't going to be, maybe I put in a different type of effort. Okay. Maybe I'm not challenging my students because I don't think that they're capable of doing this work. Then that translates into the students' beliefs and about their capabilities, and ultimately goes into their outcomes. However, if we have strong beliefs in our students and we present that through our actions, that we have strong beliefs through them, that translates into our students' beliefs, actions, and outcomes. I'm going to show you a study a little bit later on that confirms all of that. Just a simple phrase that we could utilize that can cause great impact, positive impact on our students. All right, let's wrap it up. Last piece, rather, not wrap up, but the last piece to this. Summing it all together, our beliefs, how we learn things by actions, and then our beliefs in our students' abilities, and how that reflects how we teach, how that overall impacts educational setting. First one, social learning theory. Modeling the formula. Again, making sure students feel accepted, supported, and included. Now, when I say that students tend to mimic their teachers' actions, or they watch their peers and see, oh, this child was praised for this behavior. How does this relate to a sense of belonging? Well, let's just say we have students that are not part of the dominant culture, or maybe the student's behavior is different than the rest of the class. And that teacher takes the time to treat that student in a way that doesn't make them feel othered, that doesn't make them feel tokenized or excluded. A student is loved and embraced, and the students around his classmates, their classmates, can see, oh, wait, the teacher is not mistreating the student. The teacher is treating the student great. I should do the same thing. Or maybe Johnny gives a compliment. You know what? I saw this, maybe they're at lunch, and this student brings in a meal that doesn't look like the meals of others. Or maybe this is that normally students in the past have turned their nose up. Oh, what are you eating? Oh, that smells. And they watch maybe the teacher compliment the food, or maybe a classmate compliments the food. Oh, Johnny, that was so nice of you for what you said. Or Johnny, thank you so much for treating that student that way. And the other kids can see that. Oh, maybe if I say nice things, or maybe the student isn't what I thought they were. Or maybe people like this individual aren't I thought that they were. Maybe my parents at home, or Uncle Bob, said that people like this are a certain way, but I'm realizing, no, actually they're not. Not only are they not that way, but I'm seeing everybody else is treating them fine. Maybe I should do the same. See how that works? This is how we can make a positive impact just by the behavior. We are often influenced, I said, by our family, friends, colleagues, etc., and how we choose to respond and behave based off of that influence that we receive, or social validation that we're looking for. Because guess what? Sometimes the classroom, the staff room might feel a certain way, but you know what? It's flat out wrong. Is that social validation going to be so strong that we're not willing to go against the grain? Because, oh, I don't want to lose my clout. Everybody seems to be talking about those inner city kids, or everybody seems to be talking about the kids in that trailer park. in that bad neighborhood. Everybody seems to have the same thoughts. Socially, I could participate in that conversation, be all good. Or is this an opportunity for me to go against the grain and say, I know it's the norm for us to talk like this and talk about these kids in this way. However, it's unacceptable. The next one, a simple phrase. Let me give you some more research on this. Yeager et al. Okay, Yeager and his colleagues back in 2014, they did a study. And it's a very simple study. They took black kids that were receiving B's and C's. And what they did was they asked the students to write an essay. And once they did the essay, they turned it back in and they divided them into two groups randomly, the whole sample experiment. One group of students of black kids in the seventh, and they were all in the seventh grade. So one group of kids, they received feedback that was very standard. A nice little note that said, I'm giving you these comments so that you will have feedback on your paper, on this essay that they did. Then there was another group of students that received a message that was different. It said, I'm giving you these comments because I have very high expectations and I know that you can reach them. See the difference? One group got, I'm giving you these comments so that you'll have feedback on your paper. The other group got, I'm giving you these comments because I have very high expectations and I know that you can reach them. If you can imagine, guess what happened? You probably guessed it. The kids that got the message that said, I'm giving you these comments because I have very high expectations, they did better than the students that got a standard message. A simple phrase. Now, with the study, the researchers said, we'll give you the option to revise your paper, your essay. And the ones that got the high expectations comment, 64% of them revised it, versus only 27% of the black students did not. From the regular feedback, did not. So you already got a difference. When the teachers required the students to revise, guess what happened? 88% of the students that received the high expectations message did better, while only 34% of the students that received the standard message did better. So the simple phrase, again, beliefs. We're talking about beliefs. A simple phrase. If you're not doing this already, just see. For kicks and giggles, write that on your paper. Now, here's why this is so important. As you might say, all right, cool, I get it. But here's the thing. When we look at our teaching demographics, I want to say it was 83 or 84% white teachers the last time I checked. However, our student demographics look different. We know that our student demographics are over 50% of color. Now, unfortunately, there are a lot of our black students, African-American students who are in classrooms where the teachers do not look like them. And then there's historically, there's a lot of trust challenges there. A lot of our students, and there's research that supports that students tend to do better when they have teachers or educators that look like them, that share similar background. They tend to do better. So when you have teachers who don't look like students, you got a lot of students that don't trust their teachers. You know, a lot of teachers, maybe a lot of students have seen teachers come and go. Oh, they're only there for a year. Maybe they're there for a semester. They're just doing their student teaching, whatever it is. They're not there long, and they see a lot of teachers in and out within their school. So they don't necessarily trust a lot of their educators. Oh, you just want me, you're just here for a paycheck, or you're just here because this test that you're giving me is just a test. I don't think you believe in me. Writing that comment, I have high expectations for you. I know that you can meet them. Can make such a difference, especially when you have students that do not look like you in the classroom. Research supports that. Yeager et al. 2014. Last one is make beliefs visible. There's one thing to say, oh, all students are capable of learning. But there can't be a parentheses, and within that parentheses, as long as you act and behave like the rest of the kids. How do we visibly show our students that we believe in all kids? We can show that through our support on certain initiatives, maybe Black Lives Matter or AAPI or immigrant or LGBTQIA+. Are we visibly supporting those as well? Maybe we have symbols or things out there. And again, I always say, don't limit that. Don't just put a poster on your wall or rainbow on your door and call it good. Our actions need to be there as well. But again, how we model, how we treat other students. I don't want to say other students because that doesn't even sound right. How we treat students, especially our students who historically haven't received the same fair treatment as everyone else, can spread. That behavior, that social learning theory, kids pick up on that behavior that we utilize on others.